Hi guys, this is Lindarella Vibes. So I want to share something that I feel some of us will feel it has actually affected a lot of people, and it has actually shaping the life of some people. Yes, and I'm also part of the people that this thing has shaped her life. Yeah. So not all friends are actually bad friends. Some friends are there to push you to that success gate. Some friends are there to enable you to know your capacity level. Some friends are there to strengthen you. Yes, we have various kinds of friends. While growing up, I had childhood friends and I had school friends too. Yes, but I love to talk more of my school friend. Yeah. When I just got into the secondary school, then GSS1, I was placed beside a girl at the front seat. Yes, so that girl, I saw how devoted she was with her book, and even me, oh, I'm a bookworm. Yes, I love studying a lot. I love reading books, and I love people to emulate that attitude of studying their books every time. That was how I was then. So I saw this enthusiasm that this
Noticing me.
girl
She
had
also saw that
towards her
I
book. So
love studying.
she had to come close to me, and we started as friends. We became friends then, and the friendship lasted for 8 years, yes, before something happened and we had to end things. Yes. So we're all tackling our books, hitting the jackpot, which is exam, and coming out in flying colors. And, I joined school late. Yes, I joined secondary school late. When I was in GS1, I joined secondary school the day they were doing their test. We call it CA test, okay, because of personal issues, which delayed me to entering school. My dad was so sick then, so he was admitted to the hospital and for quite a long time. So he stayed there long, and because of that, I could not resume school alongside with my mates when resumption happened then. So while I resumed school, that test, the day of the test was the 7th week of the first term then. So I resemble proud to that. Whenever my mates come back from school, I do get their notes and write everything up to date. I never missed any notes. And while I was writing them down, I was studying alongside with it. And the time frame where when I tend to study well and assimilate better is during midnight, yes. Then I do study from 11 p.m. till 4 a.m. Then before I now catch up some sleep and prepare for school. So during that first time, people were surprised. They saw my result. I took the first position in class. They're like, this small Igbo girl that just resumed school on the day of CE test, and I I got first position. And the teachers then they liked me so much. They liked how brilliant I was. They liked how I embraced academic study, and they really they they really admire me then in school. So while along the line, I kept on maintaining that position till I got to the senior secondary school, which happens to be SS1. I and that my friend, we mostly had a lot of things in common. So I saw that, oh, she was also going to science class. Me, right from time, I had a passion for science class. So I realized that she was going to science class. So I was like, oh, that's good. Then that means that we'll have to maintain the same sitting position that we were while we were in junior school. So while we got to the SS1, I saw that this girl, at some point, she was trying to withdraw herself from me. Why? I don't know. And I'm that accommodative type. I tolerate anybody that wishes to make me as friend. So I was like, why is she withdrawing herself? I didn't really put that up to her initially. I sometimes I just once she withdraw, I also withdraw. I stay on my lane. Then after she will come back. Not until when we got to SS2 and there was this promotional exam that we were to do, and we were told that if no one passes this exam, then we'll have to repeat the class or the person will not be able to write WAEC. Yes, that was the condition that was given then. So this girl, I saw that she withdrew. Um, she after withdrawing herself for a while, she came closer to me. Then we struggle. We did our exam. So when we did our exam, I passed mine, and she had clashes with hers. The next thing she was like, thank God for your own. Then that attitude started. The attitude was more obvious than the previous attitude she was using. So I was like, what's going on? Not until I realized that while we're even in junior school till now, the girl, one thing she has been doing, she has always wanted to meet me at that my position. She has always wanted to be at that my position. Meanwhile, we have different method of studying. She do study during the day. That is what favor her. But for me, people can study during the day. I'll just be looking there. I might be even playing that time. But once it's midnight, you see me. I won't sleep. That's when I study. So I realized that she was envious of my progression. That is what I'll term it as. She was envious of my progression to the extent that she started withdrawing herself. She was seeing me as if I'm the one befalling her of her own academic failure, which it doesn't sound, it doesn't make sense then. So I continued studying. I kept on maintaining my lane. I I wasn't even minding her. Okay. So we were able to, I think our parents were able to help her with the result, and she was able to get to SS3 with me. So while we were preparing for our work, we were doing that separately. The friendship wasn't as tight as before again. So we were studying, studying, studying. When we did our work, I made mine and she failed some. We do
in our
visit
results.
since then that distance
Houses
just
once in a while to
so since
study
then I started
together and
enjoying
even go
myself
for
from her
extra lessons after
because we were
school.
so close that if you see
So
her,
I
you've
realized
seen
that
me. If you see me, you've seen her
there
then
was
in
a
school.
period
So even the
where
parents will know each other
she
and we do. She said that her dad sent her to make food and she has made the food and the food got cold, which her dad doesn't like. So because the food got cold, the dad had to punish her. The dad wiped her with cane, and because of that, this girl got angry. She now had to. She went to take one insecticide that they use in killing insects at home. She went to drink it because her dad beat her. So when she drank it, it was the neighbors at her environment that rushed her to the hospital and admitted her, and they were able to help her to they administer some treatment to her so that the I don't know, you guys should know this insecticide. It's called otapiapia. Yes, that was what she drank. Oh. So she kept it. I saw that when I reached out to her during the week, I chatted her up and she was telling me she's not feeling well. She was admitted. I was like, what happened? She didn't tell me. Not until when I visited her after a few months. When I got there, the mom was like, I'm not a good friend. That my friend did this kind of thing. I did not even show up. And I was like, what kind of thing? I told her when I reached out to her, she only told me that she was sick and admitted. She didn't tell me that, oh, something like this happened. It was her mom that related all the issues with me that, oh, she drank otapia because her dad beat her or even slap her because she made cold food for the dad and all that. I was like, oh, really? So I had to approach her. I said, why will you do such a thing? What led you to this kind of thing for you to do this, That was then when I got home, I shared this experience with my parents, and my parents were like, I should be careful with her because I've been sharing our issues with my parents. I've been telling them what has been happening, what attitude this guy has been giving right from school. So my parents were like, this girl, if she can take a poisonous substance to herself, that means that if we are going to continue this friendship till our university days, then if I offend her or do something wrong, since she has already been having grudges of me having the first position in class and she not obtaining it, that means that she can do something to harm me in the future. Then I sat myself down, I thought of it, I was like, oh, this is actually true. For her to be able to do something like this, for her to be able to even hurt herself, that means there's nothing this girl cannot do. So I also started withdrawing myself back. That was how this friendship ended. That was how up till now I am really grateful for the decision I took then due to the help of my parents. Because sometimes I do think that if I haven't made that decision, then it's either she would have killed me or she would have done some bad things to me that will make me regret for life. And I'm really grateful to that. So not all friends are bad, despite this sad experience that I shared, but she actually made me realize that without her, I can, obtain something great or I can even become successful later in life. And she also made me to understand that because of some of the attitude she was giving me, she was able to push me harder to that success gate, which I'm grateful for. Because at this stage of my life, there are some things that I would have gone into or done, which would have hurt me more badly if not for the help of my friend. Yeah, she made me realize that yes, this is what she can do to impact my life. And me myself, I was able to realize that, oh, then this is when this is where I have to set the boundary. If I hadn't set the boundary, she would have made some decisions for me that would have affected me. Because then in school, she always wants everything to go in her own way. She doesn't want other people's opinion. Even my own opinion, she doesn't want. She just like overriding me in school. That was the attitude she was portraying when in school. So not all friends are bad, okay? Even though they acted wrongly to you, you should know that in the future, they actually paved way for some of the challenges that are meant to occur to you along the line. They actually helped you to realize some things, okay? And you're able to make better decisions for your life. So you can also like, follow, comment, and share. And also share your experience if you once had an encounter with a friend, if they actually impacted you positively or negatively? Let me know in the comment section. Bye.